Some people had a roof tent last night. I had my hammock. Good morning. We're going to go and find the place where my Land Rover rolled. I say my Land Rover. The Land Rover I looked after. We're going to go and find the place that it rolled. Off in the mountains. 15 years and 4 weeks ago, in fact. I don't have many photos of the actual location, other than where the vehicle was, and I have lost all memory of the kind of scale or steepness of the slope. I really want to go and remind myself of how epic this was, because in my head it was pretty epic. Anyway, we'll load the vehicles up, get on the road.
Today we're going to go and find the location and do a little bit of axle twisting along the way, and the Jeep gets a bit stuck.
Guess that's the downside of having your house on the top of your vehicle.
Yeah, when you want to move.
You've got to put it away every night.
It's so much easier when I saw the turtles do it.
You regretting not having the AC?
I do have AC, but look, I think Graham just pulled the fuse, so it would be an even swap.
Okay. Yeah, you can drive my truck. But you're not having the AC because...
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you have to suffer like we do in the blue truck.
Well, even more potentially.
I'm getting dust. So
yeah, that's all right. I mean,
is that really fair?
Well, it's a daily dose of protein and minerals.
It's a team building experience.
Where you're always behind.
Right.
Just to put it on top?
Yeah, I'm going to film.
Oh, are you? So this thing's really old and it's very brittle.
Remember something real quick.
Yep. Well, the top of the track, it's not that far. I think I'd probably like to just look at it on foot first.
Okay.
Because I remember it being quite steep.
Right.
I mean, it can handle it, but it's just whether it's been washed out or not.
Yeah,
I've no, 15 years is a long time. I mean, the track was perfectly safe to drive. It was just a driver error, I think. Get too close to the edge, really. Right. But it was because of a washout.
Right.
She was avoiding. Right. Turns out I'm driving the other one. Because if I'm taking them to the place where the rollover happened, it's on me. This is going to be great, though.
Oh, and I have an extra plug has one of each USB, so...
Okay, cool.
Get the shit out of the way.
So yeah, let's hope it's not a reenactment. The other one was a hard top, white.
At least it's got a cage on the top, not like... Well, yours did too.
It did have a cage on the top, yeah. I mean, this was the bar that saved the occupants.
These guys.
Oh, 4-inch lift, man.
Well, it's about 3 now.
3 and a bit.
3 and a bit.
So it was about, well, spot 1 is about there. And we're going to try and drive along there.
I think
The big one, right?
Yeah, it's just tough.
You know where the turn-off is?
That one.
Why don't you just lead?
Sure.
Oh, that'd be... God, dude, that's gonna be nice. Enjoy it while I can.
Don't get too excited. It's not going to last for long. Yeah, no, it's
Copy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sounds good.
Oh,
So
good.
Eric, your navigator.
Sure, it's in
Mr. Master Navigator. Or
you look at these. Which is right side up?
the flat side. Off we go. This thing's like a boat.
Drives like a boat, too.
Which one? The Titanic? Or... Has the clutch pedal always been like this?
Yeah.
Has it changed through Mexico, or is it?
No, it's the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I had never driven one without sway. I guess all mine have sway bars, so...
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what is this?
Because the pedal, the pedals stay down a bit. It won't
Yeah.
flip back up by itself. Which I've driven these roads before with a situation like that. This is all cleared for the new road. See the speed again now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who's that? That's one of Graham's, is it?
This is only a 2-inch. Yes, this is Graham's.
Standard issue.
Yes, I'm looking for the 4-inch for the windshield. Soft.
Yeah, we're getting a bit of tide mark used.
Yeah,
One careful owner.
One careful owner. Bit melted.
Be careful where you walk.
Yeah, I might just go a little bit further, but I think it does get a bit steeper. This is where we stop. I'm going to walk down from here because it starts to get pretty steep. You can see some of the landscape over there. That's yeah. So actually, when we did the recovery, the vehicle that recovered wanted to come out this way, but couldn't actually get up this hill. So we're going to walk it, see what it's like. This is kind of where it starts to go down, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some big washouts. I don't particularly remember this bend, but I think it's going to be over there.
How can that work?
Not more vegetation than there used to be. Seems to make sense. I think it's over there. I think it goes down around here. It's over there. Man. Yeah. Last time I walked this track it was darkness and I was leaving and there was a car. The recovery vehicle was trying to get up this way and it couldn't because it was so steep. Did you want to tackle the route afterwards?
Come down here?
Yeah.
I have no problem with it. I'd drive it.
Yeah. It's probably easier going down than up.
But to make sure
Cut it
next time
deeper.
it's going to be even deeper. Off the hill.
Oh, there we can see how steep this track is. You keep walking.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much going to be around this corner, I think.
Okay.
Or is it here? Or maybe it could be the next one. This is what I've got to figure out. But in any case, it seems right.
Yeah, it's deep up there.
Might be a bit further actually,
Okay.
because you could see up that. I've got photos. You can see up that valley.
Okay.
So I think it's a little bit further actually. The next one round. Yeah, I've just been looking at memory, looking at contours, looking at the. I know it was on a tight bend from and I know it's a north-south road.
Yeah.
So and looking at, I went on Google Earth and plotted kind of terrain, come down there, zoom around, trying to match up the slopes of the re-entrance and the streams and the contours with Google Earth and the photos I've got of the vehicle. I don't have a photo go the opposite direction or any of the road.
Okay.
I've only got photos looking from the road down to the vehicle. Yeah. And there's one. Look at that. hidden under the foliage.
Go down there. Yeah, now we've got drains on both sides. That's where it gets very icy.
Yeah.
We looked at a tree with some paint on it.
We had to cut it down actually.
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah, we chainsawed it because it was, after the vehicle slid, it was in the way. So we cut it down. So this is probably the next best location, somewhere here. Maybe it's not as tight as turn as I remember, but it's probably a higher bank side on there. It's not going to be here because these trees are quite big.
Right.
Could be there. Yeah, man, 15 years. You're trying to rack your brains on a few snapshot memories and no, I think it's probably about in there. The photos were taken a bit more that way, so
Yeah, big close.
I mean, you never know, it could be that she was trying to avoid and then this is where it happened maybe. How far does it go? You can actually walk.
Walk to the edge.
The edge is quite far over there actually.
It's perfectly close. You go first.
The edge is there. So she could have gone. I mean, this didn't have vegetation this high at all.
Right.
And this was quite low. I'll be able to show you the photos. But
Well, I've seen the one of it on its roof.
yeah, I'm fairly that. Let me look at my phone actually.
Right.
Somewhere down there. I'm looking right down there. That's my foot. Eric, could you just go and stand on the track and we'll see this kind of
See the scale?
what it takes to stand upright. Yeah, I didn't realise this track was so steep at this point. In my memory, it's flat, but
If she would have hit,
yeah, that's the kind of thing she was trying to avoid. I thought it was a bit. It might have been. I thought it was a bit closer to the. Well, the edge was a bit closer. Let's go and have a look here.
this slope may well have eroded away more too.
Yeah, and there's probably a lot less on the surface here as well.
Where's the tag on the tree that says Will's?
Will was here.
Will's here.
Yeah, this is the kind of terrain.
Yeah.
I remember walking up here and just grabbing onto stuff
Get back up.
to get back up. This is our best bet. Right there.
I now realise, having lined up this photo, that the photo lines up actually very well. And if you look at where the red arrow is pointing, that re-entrant fits very well with the hillside behind it, and then also the hillside sloping down from the left to the right. So I may actually be standing at this point in the exact place where the photo was taken, which means the vehicle would be straight ahead and a bit further up the track than where I had been looking. The trees had been throwing me off because I remember it as being quite an open area, because obviously the vehicle's just rolled down and flattened everything, but the vehicle was probably actually in this bunch of trees right here in front of us.
Down in there, because no big. Those trees are not grown in the last 15 years. I wouldn't have thought. God knows what fell out of the vehicle that's still down there. But
Yeah.
first sight was probably around here, coming there and looking at it and going, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I think adrenaline was still running for her.
Yeah.
It was only later that when we started doing other tracks in the following weeks, that when it started bouncing side to side, she got really,
Yeah.
apprehensive about that. Because it brought all the physical memory back,
Sure.
the sensation. Yeah, for me this was the long walk back. Up over there. Oh, up there here, actually. And this is where the truck that's trying to get up, stuck a wheel in something like that. And that is, these get pretty deep. Thigh deep holes. And they couldn't get up any further. I mean, this looks pretty grippy, but this rock is when it gets wet, you know, see that, we've just scuffed off the layer of grass. It gets quite slimy. This rock here, quite skiddy. There's not a lot of traction on that when it's well, in any condition really, when it's wet or dry, but particularly when it's wet. So we're now going to try and attempt to drive this. Coming back down. Graham going first.
Okay.
The rest of us will just sort of follow in his wheel tracks.
Well, I'm driving on the right hand side, you'll be on the left hand side.
True that. So I'll be looking down the edge.
Or I can drive the white truck, since we don't need it, and we don't have to pass each other.
True.
Yeah, and then drop into that. And the problem with that is if you drop into that, you might be riding it all the way down to the bottom.
You've got to turn left there.
If you can, yeah.
It's like a rock in it.
Could you, so when you fire it up, it's just like the old school ones where you have to hold it, glow plug.
Yeah.
Hold it there for a couple of seconds, because otherwise, if you just go straight to start, the GPSs will switch off because it gets too much of a battery draw. So just leave it there for a sec, just like you're glowing it, and then start it.
Sure.
That's all I got.
Sure.
So watch where Will goes. He's watching where I'm going, so we should be good.
Just one of those normal occasions where you're navigating through a washout and trying to avoid hitting a cameraman at the same time.
Easy when you know how.
Brilliant, right?
Yeah.
I got in the truck and I came to the thing, I'm like, oh, it's just that. Jesus, there's a lot worse outside.
It's weird, isn't it, when you look at something in the vehicle versus out of the vehicle?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's completely different.
So there's a set of
Lifestyle pictures.
lifestyle pictures.
Enough for good.
Cooking utensil part, I guess.
Any desire to stack some rocks in there? Oh, okay.
I don't see many rocks about. We could have to take out a shovel and
Here's
start
one.
building things. Nah.
Gravity's on your side.
Yeah, gravity's on your side. I think it'll be fine. It's just don't. And now that it's not raining, this is pretty grippy now that it's not wet. But when it was raining, I was more worried about it, because if you get on close to the edge, it might just slip you in. But,
Right, let's do this. On down past the actual rollover spot. Right, we're loaded up on lunch. Good lunch spot, this.
video's really boring.
So we're just going to head down the track around and head on out the other way, which is the way the vehicle came up originally. Before it had its little little incident. This bit gets a bit trickier because we've got ruts on both sides.
It's one of those sort of obstacles that looks quite tame on camera, but it's actually the limits of what most Defenders can handle, and these Defenders have got suspension lifts and 255/85 tyres, so taller tyres. So if we didn't get the driving line right, then we could have cross-axled very easily. And you can't help but keep thinking of the sheer drop to your left-hand side either.
This is where I walked up at the end.
When you walk the track, you're thinking, what's all the fuss about? But then when you drive it, you realise how much of the width of the track is taken up by a Defender.
It's narrow. So the rollover happened about where Graham is. Right about there.
So I now think the rollover actually happened right in front where the vehicle is now. So if you imagine you're coming up here with a left-hand drive vehicle, you've taken up the full width of the track more or less with the Defender. On the passenger side window, because of the camber of the track, you can basically see sky, even though there's a big hill down there. You can't see the side of the track at all. So I understand how you could drive away from the inner radius of the bend, move towards the outside and not be aware of where your wheels are travelling. And that's essentially what happened during the rollover.
So right about here is where it went off.
Okay.
This is the best estimate we've made. Probably between these two trees and there. So the car was coming up. I can see it driving it now. I can see trying to avoid the rut on the left. This is the high side.
And you just kind of lose sense of where the other is.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had a radio call from behind in the Jeep that it was having a bit of trouble negotiating the terrain. This Jeep's almost a foot wider than Defender's and the wheelbase is a lot longer. So, got himself in a situation that needed a bit of assistance.
Yeah, it's crumbling a bit. That'll probably give way if it goes forward.
You're going to be millimeters, man. Millimeters, okay?
From the edge.
No,
Just watch it.
should just be very, very precise.
Don't look down.
Let me ask you this. Should I
What's that?
slow and steady or a little bit of half?
No. Came forward 6 inches.
Well, now that we got the we got that part out of the way.
That's all good. Yeah. Yep, good. Towards me slightly. That's it. Hold right now.
Yeah, check that.
I was having a bit of trouble. My two cameras, one had run out of battery and the other was running out of SD card space.
We can move the rocks from the back.
I was basically just trying to shut up and watch because it's always annoying when you've got multiple people shouting instructions at you. So it was better that Graham ran the show and we all just stood and watched.
There we go.
It was all going well and then the wheel slipped off one of the ruts another time and it slid into another gully.
You're in the rut.
It's pushing against the smooth.
You're ploughing your diff at the moment. That's the only thing supporting.
Alright, let me guide you. Okay. So straight now.
And about then, that's when the batteries and the SD card let me down. But he managed to get out unscathed in the end. The heavens then opened and we headed off on our way back to camp via a small recce to check out the entrance for the main route that we'll be tackling in a few days' time.
Pristine jungle made way for progress. This is the road, this is the only bit of tarmac left. See that yellow centre line? Lane there, lane there. This is completely disintegrated. So when I was here, it was always a bit rough. It was never quite smooth, but it was full width out here. And the jungle's just encroached back on it. It's pretty much a single track road now. Huge potholes, that's not one. But huge potholes along here. Just shows you how that's 15 years, you know, nature's completely swamping the road. And now they've recently been scraping it back, and they're probably going to bring it back to full width, as it is with the rest of the road all the way back. Anyway, we found the entrance point where we're going to dip in. We've just done a bit of a recce, we're not going to start it today, but this is the road that I used to drive 15 years ago as well. Strangely started raining today. It's dry season, but rainforest, you know, that's what happens. What's it looking like?
Graham thinks we can get off.
Yeah.
It doesn't look too bad back there, honestly.
Yeah.
So he thinks that this first little stretch will be, I mean, kind of the most hacking.
Yeah.
Or waste of greenery, but.
And you got your hacker.
And it's this is Connie's grandfather.
Wow.
It's in the white truck next to your driver's seat. It is. That's where it's been living.
Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs up. Always thumbs up.
Always thumbs up, yeah.
Always thumbs up. Well, we're here, so it has to be thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly. You look at it and you think, God, it's so dense, and then actually you wander in and it's just
not too bad.
Small stuff that the vehicle's just going to push over. And
once we drive into there, we'll be disappear from the road in a minute.
Yeah.
And we'll be gone.
Yeah.
So, perfect.
Never to be seen again.
Never to be seen again on this side.
This is where I used to drive in. I should put the photo on screen, but just dipping down there, heading in that way. This was all clear out originally.
That's good drainage.
Right, well, I think we've figured out what we need to know for the moment, and it's getting dark now. We need to get back to camp, but we will be back when we attempt this for real. Probably in 2 days' time.
If you want to hear the full story of this rollover recovery as it happened 15 years beforehand, then check out the video linked on screen and in the description. So in the space of a couple of days we went from epic dust storms to mud dripping off the roll cage and wheel arches. This was episode 3. Go and check out episodes 1 and 2 if you're interested in what we're up to on this journey. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.